Hi everybody, it's Tyson. My dad recently came to visit and wanted to shoot a video and watched some of my videos and said I needed to be more concise. So I'm gonna try again to get through this really quickly. Welcome to my channel. We're gonna start over here. Over here in this corner, this has been recently reorganized. This is the Rogue Eco Ghd, which has finally found a home and is gonna be put back into my programming. It's just in a little cubby hole that wasn't getting used for anything but stacking junk, and I just reorganized the junk. Got my pen board down here on the floor, and eventually I'm gonna figure out a way to put it here on the wall and hinge it so that you can get to the breakers. A scale, it's a balance scale, pretty accurate. Sitting here in the corner. This is the Prx Performance flat bench pad, which has been replaced, and we'll look at my bench in a minute. These are my dumbbells. This is what I started with 6 years ago, just picking the dumbbells up every other day, trying to not be a chubby, out of shape, middle-aged man. And eventually I bought weighted vests. It's a 40-pound weighted vest with 2-pound plates that are removable. So it's kind of nice. You can kind of incrementally load it. I honestly started with most of them in and then really quickly went to just putting the whole vest on, doing lunges and squats. Those are 10-pound ankle weights. That is a box of bags. The bags are supposed to be sandbags. I just never filled them. I used sandbags at other gyms and liked them, and so I ordered some for myself and just haven't put it in my program yet. There's one of my plyo boxes. Got a leaf blower and broom. Low fan, which I put in the doorway to blow cool air into the garage, and a security gate to keep the cats out. Here's another plyo box. There's another fan up here to circulate the heat that accumulates at the top of the room around. A little vacuum. I did insulate the garage door, which is a good idea. It really keeps the heat out or the heat in, depending on what you're trying to do. This is the Mars bar. I love this bar. Apparently the new ones have even better upholstery. It was really my only complaint about this is the upholstery is not amazing, but I don't really notice. But the new version is apparently much, much better. I don't care, I'm not gonna replace this. This is my favorite specialty bar at this point for squatting, and I'm satisfied. Check them out. Let's see, my Do-In Classics in blue suede, so that I got some blue suede shoes. They've got stacked leather heel. They're good for people with wider feet. This is a painting of me squatting 405 that was done by my friend Ben Claridad. He is an Olympic lifting coach and really awesome musician, artist, and you should check him out here in Sacramento if you're interested in Olympic lifting or strongman and need a coach. Definitely look for a coach if you need one. This was a gift from my daughter. This is a local artist, Chris Cinder. Down here I've got a little platform that I keep my charters on, and they are sitting over the top of my lighter stones that I got from a guy in Santa Rosa. This is the Elite FTS leg extension leg curl machine. This is their lower end, smaller version, which I think is an amazing piece of equipment. It sort of fits in that niche between really expensive, really high-end stuff, because it is really nice piece of equipment with band pegs and very well made. But it is also not too big, which sort of fits with those lower end, like it takes up about the same amount of space as one of those Titan Fitness or even Texas Strike systems, which is, I think, better than, it's a better quality piece of equipment. But this is definitely really nice, like high quality. I use kilo fractional plates that I bought a long time ago that I thought I was gonna buy bumper plates in kilograms, and I just never have gotten around to it. I do have some specialty bar collars that I use to position the weight on the pin where I want it, because the further out the pin, the more it loads the low end of the movement. I've got a deadlift jack and a 50-pound kettlebell. I've got my wall control unit here in orange and blue. Again, just trying to keep as much color in the gym as possible. Also the contrast, because all the equipment that's on it is mostly black. And so if you have a black wall control, then you can't see your equipment. But if you have a colored wall control, you can. This is a straight bar that came with my Texas Strength Systems lat pull down and low row machine. I don't know what this thing is called, but I've had it for a long time. I bought it so I could use it with the cable machines in our community gym. We've got the mag grips. These are the medium width, supinated and pronated. This came with the Texas Strength Systems cable machine as well. This is the Bells of Steel. I got this because we had one of these in high school. The one I had in high school was kind of a gold color. I've used it a little bit. Not a huge fan because it's a little uncomfortable, but it's pretty good. I've got the heavy hangers, which is a recent purchase, but I haven't used them yet. But I think they're cool, and I think I'll use them eventually. I've got some bench blocks for basically board press by yourself. I keep my pens over here. I've got some bands in here by Elite FTS and all my parts for my wall control unit. These came with the Duffalo bar. I haven't used these, but I definitely have used the Duffalo bar. These are the pins for my mono lifts, which I also don't use. Here's my fractional plates by Rogue and my aluminum collar by Rogue. This is the best collar to get. They hold really well. Eco bumper plates, which came in color and they were inexpensive. That's why I got them, just more color in the gym and inexpensive bumper plates. They are on the Prx Performance wall storage unit. Great storage unit. Here I have my belts. Rogue 9mm belt. This was my original. It's got the 1-inch hole spacing. And then I upgraded to the Pioneer Cut belt in blue suede because it matches my blue suede shoes and it comes in 13mm. I've got my Prx Performance Rack here in the middle with the kipping bar, and I use my Cadillac Bar by Kabuki Strength as my neutral grip. I definitely bench with this occasionally too, but it lives up here because it's out of the way. And you can see here that this is in the supinated position, and if you flip the bar end for end, it becomes pronated a little bit. It's pretty cool. I've got my safety spotter arms. You've got to have safety spotter arms if you're going to be lifting by yourself, especially if you're going to be benching by yourself. I upgraded my J hooks to Go Strong roller J hooks with the plastic rollers because the metal rollers are harder on the barbells and the barbells are more important than the rollers. And I have an extra pair of rollers, so when these wear out, I can replace them, but I think that's going to take a long time. I also upgraded my pad to the Thompson Fat Pad. Again, because of the shoulders, this is wider and thicker, a little more cushioned and a little more supportive, which is pretty awesome. I did get the Prx Performance dip bar 3 years ago when I bought the rack originally, and eventually I'll probably upgrade to the Mutant Metal dip bars because they're super cool and they're beautiful looking and they're knurled and they're more adjustable. But for now, these are working fine. I've got a dip belt by Rogue. If I knew about Dominion Strength's leather dip belts, I probably would have gone with those. So check Dominion Strength out, but if they're too expensive, I think Rogue is totally serviceable. I've been happy with this one. I'm not going to necessarily replace it. Here's my monolifts. Oddly enough, Mutant Metals just came out with some new spring-loaded monolifts that have rollers, which I think are really cool. So if you're in the market for monolifts, you might want to check out Mutant Metals' new monolifts. I think those are pretty awesome. I don't know that I'm going to upgrade, but I think if they had been out when I bought these, I would have considered them. These are some dumbbells my wife uses. I did use these 6 years ago when I first started. Let's get into the barbells. So if looking at the barbells from a distance, I've got the Rogue gun racks. I've got 2 pairs of the gun racks that hold 6 bars each, and they have the plastic inserts to protect the barbells. Looking at the barbells themselves, got the Titan Fitness Easy or Safety Squat Bar, which was recommended by Cooper at Garage Gym Reviews. It was $200 shipped to my door. Then I have the Lujan Olympic training bar because I'm not an Olympic lifter, but I wanted an Olympic bar in case I want to do some Olympic lifting. I also use this for my deadlifting and any pulling from the floor, especially if I'm in a hook grip, because this is a more passive knurl. I then have my Rep Fitness stainless steel power bar, which is kind of my daily driver. It's got the center knurl, but it's got a little bit wider flange, so the walkout's a little easier. It's a medium knurl bar, so hook grip is not too bad. I did buy a Rogue Ohio power bar in stainless steel, which is more aggressive knurl and has the narrower flange. And that's what I'm using right now because I'm getting ready for competition in about 4 weeks. It's a really nice bar, but it does tear up my hands when I hook grip, and the walkout's a little harder because of the narrow flange. This I bought because my neighbor was training with me. She's 60 and she needed a lighter barbell. This is a 30-pound bar. Next bar is the Rep Fitness stainless steel Rackable curl bar. I love this bar, and I love to curl in the squat rack. It's my squat rack. I can do whatever I want with it. Nobody's waiting for it. If you're in a public gym, don't curl in the squat rack, but if you're in your own gym, go right ahead. The next bar is my favorite bar to squat with. This is the Kabuki Strength squat bar. Makes the walkout really easy because it's really long, but it's also really thick, so it has no whip. And the other thing is that it puts the weight way farther out away from the center. So in terms of rotational stability, there's much more rotational inertia than with the stainless steel Rogue Ohio power bar. So it just feels more stable when you're using it. This is the Kabuki Strength shoulder rock, which I bought, 2.5 years ago. It's a loadable mace. And I like this thing just for some variation in upper body, shoulder exercise, mobility work. I also use bands. Here's some dowels, which I'm actually using more nowadays because of some things that I saw Ben Claridad doing in terms of shoulder mobility. You know, Olympic lifters have all kinds of shoulder mobility work that they do, and so I'm gradually learning some of that stuff. This is a curl bar that I bought 4 years ago, maybe, way before I bought my first barbell, and I don't really use it anymore. I thought it was an interesting, novel idea. It has the same grips that grip over here, I'll show you again, that this thing has, and I bought them at the same time. This I like, this piece of, this thing that attaches to the cables, but this thing over here, I don't really use because I prefer the easy curl bar. The hand position's just a little bit better. These are a little too far apart for me, I find. This is the Duffalo bar. It was my first specialty bar. I really love this bar. I cannot squat as much weight with it as I can with a straight bar, so I find that I'm not using it as much these days. I prefer to just use the Mars bar when it's specialty bar day, and just use a straight bar the majority of the time. But I'm gonna use it again, I'm sure. This bar up here I have not used. It's kind of an old bar that I bought from a local company, and I thought at some point I would use it for chest supported rows, but I don't really have a way of doing chest supported rows at this point, so I haven't started using it. I'm probably gonna go with Sornex. It has this thing that you can attach to your rack to do chest supported rows, but I haven't done it yet because I haven't felt I needed it. Here's a little dinosaur collection that my daughter also purchased for me. It's a gift. Down here we have my Prx Performance chalk bowl, which is really nice space saver. It's over the stones, under the barbells, nothing else can go here. So I bought this because it's a space saver, not because of money. I could have saved money by doing something else, but this thing's great. I use Spider Chalk, which was a recommendation by Alan Thrall. He has Untamed Strength. He's a great guy. You should check him out. Here are my stones. These two stones on the left are slick as snot and very hard to lift because they're hard to grab a hold of. And I don't use tacky in my garage because it's so messy. So these will always be slick and difficult. This is my warm-up stone. It was made as a different batch, but I got them from the same guy in Santa Rosa as I got the other stones. This is more pitted, lighter, so it's my warm-up stone. Bell adjustable dumbbells. These things are really easy to adjust. Just a few clicks and you're at a different weight. So good space saver. And if you look here, they're positioned so that the pin goes up in between them. I can get to the weight, I can get to the dumbbells, I can get to the chalk, I can roll the stones out, I can get to my barbells, but there's really no wasted space here. These are some adjustable, these are fractional plates by Micro Gains. Mike at Micro Gains makes these adjustable, or these fractional plates for dumbbells. So you can just clip them on there, and he sends a bunch of extra bands. He also has just regular fractional plates that are really nice, so you should check him out. Nice guy, American company. Here we have the Texas Strength Systems lat pull down and low row machine in orange. Really nice machine. Again, I picked this really specifically because I wanted high quality. Plate loaded was fine with me. I wanted solid welded and I wanted it in the color I wanted. This has the option of adding a belt squat in the future, which I probably will do. I do have the supinated and pronated grips on here by MAG, the MAG grips. I've got horse stall mats. The original horse stall mats were just the 8 foot wide by 18 feet long section here, with a little bit of extra there, so the total gym length is 19.5 feet. And then I did get a few extra mats, but my wife parks here, so I didn't fill the whole room with mats. I just got a few extras so I can pace back and forth a bit. Here's my toolbox. Here's where my phone goes. So this is the shot that everybody sees on Instagram when I'm lifting. Right there, that's the phone position. I got my wrist wraps, water bottle, hand sanitizer. These weights are here for a reason. And the reason is because it weights down the right back corner of the toolbox. And if you see here, this left front wheel, or it's left front in terms of my facing it, is off the ground, and that one is on the pad. And so really only 3 of the wheels are on the ground. And the weight on the back right corner keeps that back right wheel on the ground and keeps the toolbox stable when I'm shooting video. I actually then roll this back to the right so that it's out of the way when my wife drives in and out. Looking in junk drawers, here's the extra rollers, some random tools, logbook, wipes, some extra straps, clamps, random tools, more straps. These I use the majority of the time. These are by, I think these are Pioneer Fitness leather straps that are pre-treated. These are what I use the most of the time. I did get these things, but I used them for a while doing chin-ups, but I don't actually really use them much. Here we have my other set of Go Strong J hooks for the Duffalo Bar. If you're gonna get a Duffalo Bar, you should get these. These are really awesome. If you use regular J hooks with the Duffalo Bar, it's kind of sketchy. I got fasteners in here. I've got some liquid chalk by Spider Chalks. They're Black Widow chalk for when I travel. Got extra spider chalk so that I never run out. The bottom drawer is just hand tools, saws, stuff like that. I'm not gonna bother looking in there. These are a couple of signs, 30-mile-an-hour sign and a no parking sign. They just fit perfectly on the toolbox. Got anti-fragile, which came with some Kabuki strength equipment, I believe. Over here we have a little more sticker collection. We've got a couple of Prx Performance. This was actually on the end of one of the pins for the storage rack, and this came in the shipment. Untamed Strength, Barbell Logic. My coach, Cameron Cox, is a Barbell Logic coach. And Battle Bars. This is a company that is owned and run by veterans, and they make a really good protein bar. Kabuki Strength, weighted out. All right, so I think that's the whole gym. Thanks for watching. I managed to get through this in 20 minutes. Thanks to my dad for suggesting to be more concise. And a shout out to Ricky at Garage Gym Gains. If he reviews this video, I really appreciate it. Hope you all are lifting weights and getting strong. And please hit the like button and subscribe.